What is going on, Shib Army? This is your boy Random Arts coming with a quick video. And on today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about Shib Alpha Layer. The dev team just dropped the beta version of it, and I am bullish on it. So we're going to be talking about this in today's video. So before I dive too deeply into it, do me a huge favor and smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Those two things does not cost you a thing. Go ahead and do that, and that way we could push this video onto more people that needs to know about Shiba Inu and the wonderful stuff that's happening in the background. So first, let's take a quick look at the overall global crypto market. It is currently down, guys, 3.26% in the last 24 hours. You're having a Bitcoin pullback. It's currently in the 105s, guys. Meanwhile, you're seeing a lot of different altcoins. They're suffering from it. Again, 3 out of 4 crypto tend to follow the overall movement of Bitcoin. Shiba Inu, a lot of these different tokens, they're no exception to the rule. So when that happened, at least what I'm doing is constantly accumulating, because again, I still feel like we are still on the cusp of having one of the biggest bull runs ever. And right now there's a lot of suppression in pricing. But once that suppression is lift off, you are going to see exaggerated move on the upward side. And if you are not already in some of these plays, you're not going to be able to make that life-changing gains like I've been talking about. So, yeah, even Roaring Kitty, my beloved Roaring Kitty is currently down. We talked about that on yesterday's video as far as a whale. And that whale, by the way, and this is not the time to be trying to rotate. You need fresh capital. That's what I've been saying. Like, you need fresh capital, like, to being able to buy some of these dips, not trading one asset for another, because when you do that, you could exponentially, drop your, exponentially, you could have an exponential loss, because that same whale who lost 12K by swiping, by selling Roaring Kitty, used that money to buy Floki. He's currently down another, 2 or 3K already, just based upon the last 24 hours. And I checked that earlier, not even, today, now that the market is going down. So I could imagine that his bag is constantly just suffering based upon rotation. So you do what you want to do. For me, I am still holding on to everything, and I'm just using fresh capital to being able to buy these dips as they come. So now on to the news. So this is what I post. This is the post that I made. I said the Shib dev team just launched something new called Shib Alpha Layer. It's currently in beta and it's built on Shibarium. Like, I made this post and instantly somebody get in the comment section or like, whoa, what does this do for Bone? I'm like, what? Like, sometimes like this thing, it gets really funny. Like, are people not reading? Like this whole post, and the funny thing about it too, it's within like the first sentence, guys. The first sentence lets you know everything you need to know about if it's benefiting Bone or not. It says the Shib dev team just launched something new called Shib Alpha Layer Beta, and it's built on Shibarium. Like that right there. Anything that's built on Shibarium, guys. Anything that's built on Shibarium is going to impact Bone. It's going to help Bone. Having more devs coming onto the alpha layer could potentially even have them start building on Shibarium. And even if they don't, the alpha layer is already on Shibarium, which is going to help. Like, these are the type of stuff, and, this is the type of stuff if people are not careful, like, they're going to turn around and FUD their own battle. Like, oh my God, they don't even fully understand what's going on. But even after I broke this down very simply, they'll go around and start FUDding others, But that's a whole different topic. But I thought that was, like, very, very funny, very, very comical. Because not only that, look at this. Introducing Shib Alpha Layer. There's even a design showing you Shibarium and how it all fits in. So, in simple term, before somebody asks this question in the comment section of this video, yes, it does benefit Bone. Simple as that. So, to continue, it says here what it actually means in simple term. On-chain field, even though a lot of smaller blockchain called roll-up apps are running under the hood, users feel like they're using just one smooth system. No more bouncing around. A lot of stuff in crypto, especially different blockchains, different apps. You have to get this app for that, then that app for that, and you have to transfer funds, do all that. That's already taken care of. That is taken care of, so that way it feels more natural. This one I'm excited about, the super fast apps. Actions on the app will be almost instant, like using a normal website. Super fast equals super easy. That's one thing that I tend to see in Fortune, because I work for a couple of Fortune 500 companies. I worked in a couple of Fortune 500 companies before in the past, and one of the models that each one of them that I work for, they're always talking about how can we make this easy for our customers? How can we make this easy for the people who's going to be using our product? The ease of doing business is what gets a lot of people in. And if everything is running like it's on Web 2, but it's really on Web 3, then it's going to bring in more eyes. It's going to bring in more developers, kind of like how I mentioned before. So the next thing is pay with what you want. So you could pay with different tokens. They didn't specify which token. I was playing around with it, and I did see just a few, but maybe they'll add more. Heck, they might even allow you to pay with Roaring Kitty. Who knows? But that's a plus. Privacy power up. It uses the tech called FHE, fully homomorphic encryption. So with that being said, like let's say a hospital, they want to encrypt medical records. So if they want to encrypt medical records, they could use FHE just for the roll up, so that way nobody could see their data. So that's, to me, that's pretty good. And these are the type of moves that they're doing, not for this year, not for next. They're looking at it this like 10, 20, 30 years down the line, so that way Shib would still be relevant versus, oh, when Moon, when Lambo. And that's exactly what they were talking about in their post today too. Last few things is build your own tools. It comes with plug and play, so you can pick and choose what you want. Bridging is even coming, and like I mentioned before, everything is going to get settled onto Shibarium, guys. So this right here, it is a power move. It is bullish. Now, the big thing is when it comes to price, because this is what most people are worried about. Like, how's this going to affect the price? How's it going to affect the price? Well, with usage, with developers coming in and using this, they could potentially migrate over to Shibarium in itself to being able to build their token, their apps, whatever they need to do on Shibarium. So getting more people, more developers on board is a sure way to have Shibarium expand. So as Shibarium expand, that's going to be more usage on Shibarium, which is going to require more bone, which is going to cause the price to go up. And as not developer, but as the I call them the market makers, which is like the Binances, the Coinbase, they start to see moves like that, then we could possibly see a bone listing. Then we could possibly see a Shibarium integration. But these stuff are just the beginning stages of it. So again, let's take a look and just see how they react to it. I'm going to leave you guys with this. Again, if you are a true supporter of Shibarium, you guys already know the initiative with minting these NFTs. So mint you a Roaring Kitty NFT, because again, the funds are used to buy bone on the open market, and those bone are getting shifted over to Shibarium, added to a liquidity pool. So in a sense, in reality, what's happening is that we're taking more bone out of supply. So more bone out of supply. Next time we have a pump, boom, we can see that rocket. But leave a like, leave a comment. Random Marks guy signing off. Peace!